close to about 80,000 to lakh students write this exam, who are working professionals, that is. Now, somewhere we believe, and I think you need to understand that if you want to crack an exam like CAT, you can't be looking at excuses. While I understand that these days all jobs have become more demanding, 12 hours a day, which includes probably your to and fro, would mean that you will be left with hardly any time. I completely concede. However, when you look at CAT, it's a basically aptitude test. Areas which are, so to say, the ingredients of getting good marks are vocabulary, reading speed, or grammar, good basic mathematics. When I'm saying mathematics, speed mathematics like addition, subtraction, fractions, such kind of things. Now, in a day which has 24 hours, let's say you do really are busy for 12, 13 hours, you can easily take out an hour or hour and a half to add to your speed levels, both in the quant areas as well in the section 2, which is normally your verbal RC areas. When it comes to a weekend, I hope that those of you who are working for 12 hours a day, for 5 days a week, you will definitely have about 7 to 8 hours per day on a Saturday or a Sunday for you to compensate for not really working for the first 5 days of a week. So instead of really looking at a day-wise schedule, look at a week-wise schedule. Think about working for about 15 hours to about 20 hours in a week. On a particular day, you may work 3 hours. On a particular 2 continuous days, you may have to maybe work only about 0 or even 30 minutes kind of things. But the key thing in about CAT preparation is continuity. Make sure that even if you have not spent any time for the entire day, just before sleeping for about half an hour before you sleep or 15 minutes before you sleep, do some random math, addition, subtraction, fractions, or at least learn 5 new words a day. This will ensure 2 things. One is that you will feel good about it. Believe me, CAT is more of a mental game rather than just actually an aptitude game. So you will be feeling good about it that you have not wasted a day. That itself will give you, catapult you, propel you to do more of better things come the weekend as such. Okay. Now, lastly but not least, then just don't bother about it. Yeah. Finally, you have to prioritize life. If you want to get out of the current job and get into an IIM and gun for better jobs, you need to take out time. Instead of worrying about, okay, can I work for 12 hours a day or so? Look at Mr. Narendra Modi, look at, I'm sure even Dr. Manmohan Singhs of the world, friends, they are spending 18 hours in politics. Why can't you, if you want to get that 18, 20 lakhs? Maybe they get much more than that in life, but start, you will be able to make better. When you look at verbal ability as an area, verbal and RC as areas, we are looking at about 100 more days for you to start working and preparing for it. Ideally, you should be in a position to attempt out of the 20-22 questions, 20, 21, 22, that's the normal way in which your verbal or RC comes in your CAT exam and expected to come in even this year. You should be able to try attempting, about 16 to 18 questions, let's say. I am not even touching the logical ability. I expect that if you are a problem with verbal, maybe you will do all of 9 questions in logic. That means, how do I reach that stage where I'll attempt about 18 questions or 17 questions in verbal? Now, the 2 ways of it. One is the preparation part of it. One is the writing the exam part of it. As far as writing the exam part of it, instead of trying to solve all 21, 22 questions, tell yourself that I will do only 2 sets of RC out of probably given 3. Take yourself 24, 25, 26 minutes for that 2 sets. That is point 1. Second, when you look at verbal, there are 3 types of questions. You have reasoning based, like parajumbles, completion of sentences, sentences given and a full sentence are to be completed, or vocabulary questions, usage kind of areas, or third is grammar, of course. Now, you can't improve vocabulary by some 3,000 words in the next 100 days. But I'm sure that if you spend 5 words a day kind of thing on a regular basis, you can still improve by 500 words. It may not directly impact your marks, But what will it impact is your reading comprehension. Very few people understand this. But if you want to be good in reading comprehension, your vocabulary should be good and your grammar should be good. I won't say that you will read novels today at this stage with 100 days to go. But can you on a regular basis take 2 RC sets? Each set from various material that you might have, solve 2 RC passages with some 3 to 5 questions in them every day and do a thorough revision of these 2 RC sets. Read it once, try to answer the questions, read it the second time also, answer the questions and see what you're getting. That's one. From the same 2 RC sets, can you look at the words that you have not been able to understand? Look at the questions that you have got wrong. Can you go back and check why you have got wrong? Read the passage once again, understand what the author or the passage says. This kind of a rebuilding or kind of doing it again and again and again over let's say even the next 50-60 days can, in technically speaking, theoretically speaking, you would have done about 120 RC passages with 5 questions each. Believe me, there is no other better way of improving RC at this short notice. I won't say go read Agatha Christie novels or let's say a Fountainhead or an Atlas Shrugged that you would have probably done about a year back. But today, if you can do this every day from these 2 passages alone, if you read, do and look at the 5 odd words that you find them new and learn them, I think it should be very good. And now add to that, if you, I'm sure all of you will be doing mock cats also, make sure that you thoroughly go through the mock cats. I'm sure it's still possible to ace this section.
Okay, great. Moving on.
Very good question. In fact, I would like to answer this question in a very simple manner. There are 200,000 students writing this exam. 2 lakh, that is. 3,000 of them get into the IIMs. You need to decide whether you want to be into the IIMs or not. That's about 1.5% of the total students. These 1.5–2% of the entire student base is not the normal janta. You will have to decide whether you are a normal guy, wishing to get into an IIM, or you want to really get into the IIM. Because if you want to get into an IIM, all these excuses, the IIM scam, the percentages used by IIM, COI code in their 10th and 12th, or IIM Bangalore completely not so sure what they'll ask, or for that matter, IIM Indore, even more intricate way of selecting people. I think you can have enough and more excuses to say that you are not going to get into an IIM. That is rubbish. Forget about it. At the end of the day, there are 13 IIMs. There is an XLRI, there is an FMS, there is an MDI, there is an SPJ, there is a NITI, there is so many other IITs, etc., etc. You will have to get into one institute. I can guarantee you, and I have enough and more students who have got there with a 60% in 10th or a 65% in 12th and even a 58, 57, 55% in degree I'm saying, not engineering alone, getting into IIMs. IIM Cal, IIM Lucknow, some of the newer IIMs, etc. kind of things also. And I'm not talking about SCs, STs or with any category. I'm talking about open category, general category students. If you have any category, it is even going to be better off for you rather than worse off for you. You are a girl, even better for you for that matter. So I look at it that when these questions come in, I don't know where to go. These are absolutely silly, rubbish, idiotic and time-wasting questions. These are extraneous things. You have finished your 10th, you have finished your 12th, you have finished your degree, you are already working or not working. These are given. What you can do now more is crack your CAT exam, give a very good GD and interview and an essay. If you can crack it, it doesn't matter whether the IIMs will take it or not. You will do a you will definitely be able to get into one of the better institutes. Forget about all these extraneous things. This is IIM scam. Please understand that IIMs will be far more worried than you are. they will ensure next year that there is no such scam happening, because it's going to reduce their credibility to a large extent. Since you have not written last year, or if you have written it and you're out of it and you're writing for CAT 2013, friends, get out of that, start concentrating on, you have 100 days to go. That's it.
Okay.
All fads come to an end. The bubble bursts. Whether it was the .com, whether it's the biotechnology, whether it's the real estate, or whether it's an MBA fad. If you look at what happened between 2004 to 2008, just about everybody wanted to do an MBA because there was a 1 crore salary waiting. Even then, only 1 or 2 guys got that 1 crore salary, and even today, the same 1 or 2 guys will get a 1 crore salary. If you were that 1 crore guy, you would have got it any which way, whether you are in 2004, 2007, 2010, or 2014, 2016. Because of such craze, or I use the word fad, the number of business schools which have started have multiplied. I would say mushroomed. There are 4,000 plus business schools. Every engineering college worth its name or not worth its name has started an MBA department. So the problem is not MBA. The problem is all these colleges and thinking that MBA is a panacea for all evils. You have done nothing in life for the last 21, 22 years. Suddenly doing an MBA program does not mean you will suddenly get a great career for the next 30 years. Please understand that a skill for a manager has to be acquired, you need to get trained in that. Good MBA schools do it better. They have better students, so therefore the peer pressure will ensure that all of you work. Good faculty, if they are there, will ensure that you guys come up to a level wherein when you go to a corporate, you will make a difference to that corporate and to that organization. If you can understand these two things, $1 million is very much worth it. Even today, Harvard Business School charges close to ₹1 crore, but you can't easily get a seat in a Harvard. The reason is the value of the degree is as useful today as it was in 2006, 2007 when there was a huge rush for an MBA. Getting into the best business schools is still going to be a problem. Now, having said this, is there a problem with the economy? Yes, of course there is a problem with the economy. Are there enough jobs? Not really. There are not so many good jobs. But there are still jobs available for people who are good. The people who are on the streets, honestly, I have seen enough and more of them, are people who have not really learned anything in their MBA. They're just flashing their degrees in that sense, even if they're from an IIM. But if that be the case, that's one. Second, there is a real reason why I would say this is the best time to do an MBA. 2009, we had a kind of a recession. 2012-13 continues to be a recession. Chances are that 2014 will still be a bad year. But 2 years from today, when the market picks up, and it has to pick up too for a variety of reasons, there is a lot of pent-up demand in the markets too. 2015 promises to be one of the fantastic years for placements too. I mean, this is my gut feel as well as a pure analysis of what has happened for the last 15 years, at least in the business that I have been in and seen this ups and downs. So if anything, at this is the time to do an MBA, friends. 2013 to 2015 and 2014 to 2016 would probably be the best times to do an MBA and get the right kind of jobs too. Hence, I think $1 million or more is not a major issue, because it's not just about the first job, but it's about the next 30 years of your career that matters.